So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today in this video I'm going to be doing my top 5 favorite SH Figuarts Naruto figures. I would do a top 10, but we don't even have 10 figures in the line so far, so probably later next year I'll do a top 10 favorite SH Figuarts Naruto figures. And the reason why I'm doing these type of videos, right now it's really dead with figure news and new figures releasing. I'm getting like action figure withdrawal because when I don't get like a new figure in like a week or 2 weeks, kind of like gets me in bad moods. Let me know if you guys are the same way. If you don't get like a new figure within a certain time, you start like getting more annoyed and stuff, because it's a hobby we all love, and I love when new figures release because I love reviewing them and all that stuff and posing them around, taking pictures of them. So yeah, I'm getting like very irritated and extremely impatient. I know it says the 20th Shenron should be releasing, and then the 26th we should be getting Madara and Super Saiyan God Goku, and I should have all 3 of those by the end of the month, and I can't wait to review them. The next thing I'm going to be reviewing is a custom cloth Akatsuki robe, and I'll probably be reviewing that maybe Friday, later on in the week, or maybe by the weekend. But anyway, let's get into the video right now and start off with my number 5. And coming in at number 5, which is probably a lot of people's number 1, and it is the battle version Sasuke. I don't know if I like this one better or the first one that they released. The faces on both of them really aren't the greatest, and I do like the way his costume looks more on the other figure compared to this one, but they're both good figures. This one's pretty badass. There is a few issues with it, like they made his this lower portion of a robe, whatever the hell that is, they made it such a harder type of plastic, and it hinders so much damn articulation. I don't know what the hell they were thinking using this type of plastic for this part of Sasuke's clothing here. It's just not a smart move by Tamashii Nations, but I mean, they did a nice job with it. This is my favorite face with it, the Sharingan, however you say it. I like that face the most with this figure. And then for the other Sasuke, with his, I forgot, I can't remember all the Uchiha's different eye abilities, but the one that he comes with his type of Sharingan, that face, he's like yelling and screaming, and Sasuke really doesn't yell and scream a lot, you know what I mean, unless he's doing a Chidori, and most of the time he doesn't even yell and scream when he's doing the Chidori, so I don't know why they gave him that face with the older Sasuke. Like I said, it's a pretty cool figure. We do get a decent amount of accessories with this one, the Chidori, his sword, we get 2 different sheaths, interchangeable hands and faces and stuff, so we do get a decent amount of stuff included with the Sasuke. The articulation is good with it, but like I said, this piece does hinder a lot of the leg articulation, which is pretty damn disappointing. And then the detail, I think, turned out pretty good. I know a lot of people, the main issue with this was the other faces didn't look exactly like Sasuke. I thought they looked alright. They weren't horrible. It's a pretty good figure. It's probably one of the better ones that's in the line so far. So that is my number 5. Now coming in at number 4 here. Whoops, Sasuke just fell. Coming in at number 4 here is Rock Lee. And Rock Lee is one of my favorite characters from Naruto period, so I'm very happy that they did release him very early in the line, because he really needed to be released extremely early in the line, because he is a fan favorite, and he's just a funny, badass character, and they did a nice job with the figure. His articulation is pretty damn good, probably some of the better articulation out of all the figures in this line. Not the best, there's a few others I feel like have better articulation than him. His neck and head articulation gets hindered so much by his collar, and it's probably because of his hair and the shape of his head. His torso and waist movement's pretty good, the arms and everything are alright. The legs, I feel like you get the best movement with the articulation out of everything on Rock Lee. The detail looks pretty good. I feel like they should have added a little bit of paint shading, or maybe like a subtle black wash on his vest. I think that would have turned out very nice. Same with the symbol on the back there. Is that the Uzumaki symbol? I believe it is. On the back, they could have added like some black paint and the sculpted line all around it. Even with the wrappings around his arm and hands and around the thigh, I wish they would add like a wash or a black paint all around the sculpted lines everywhere, because that would make these figures just look so much better. Even in this piece, the sculpted lines, they could have added like a darker orange paint or something like that, you know what I mean? He does come with a bunch of awesome accessories. We get a bunch of interchangeable faces, hands, feet, neck, because we get the 6-gate transformation for Rock Lee. And so they included an interchangeable neck, interchangeable head and face with it, the feet and hands and everything. So you do get a bunch of awesome accessories included with Rock Lee. And he is definitely one of the best figures in the line as of right now. So that is my number 4. All right, moving on to my top 3 here. And coming in at number 3, and this one's probably a lot of people's number 1. He was my number 2 for a while until someone else released, but right here we have Sasuke's brother, which is the cooler out of the 2, and that is Itachi. And this figure, I think they did a fantastic job with it. He is wearing a custom cloth Akatsuki robe, and if you don't have one, I do highly recommend getting one. Wait for my review of the new one I'm about to review on Friday or by the weekend. Yeah, having a custom cloth Akatsuki robe with Itachi makes the figure so much better, because Tamashii Nations does include like a softer rubbery type plastic Akatsuki robe, which isn't too bad, because what I love what they did is they gave us the option to either have him with that robe or without the robe. Then you do get his attire underneath. So I really love that Tamashii Nations gave us that option. That was a big plus for me when it came to this figure, because when they were displaying it, I know a lot of people, including myself, were very nervous that we weren't going to be able to articulate the figure. So I'm really glad that they did do that with his robe. We do get a bunch of interchangeable faces and interchangeable hands as well. So we do get a bunch of awesome accessories included with Itachi. And I do wish they included like a crow or two. I think that would have been a cool accessory to have with him. But the detail, I think, turned out very nice. They did a good job with it. And he does have some of the better articulation as well. Compared to some of the other figures in the line. He's up there with Rock Lee with the good articulation. So they really did a fantastic job with this Itachi. And if you collect this line, this one's definitely a no-brainer to have. And I feel like he is one of the best figures in the line as of right now. So that is my number 3. Now coming in at number 2 here, and you could probably guess who my number 1 will be after this. And number 2 is Gaara. He is hands down one of my favorite characters in the show. I think when Shippuden started, that was one of the best stories or arcs in Shippuden, with Gaara and Sakura, Kakashi, and all them, and Deidara, and who was the other guy? Sasori. Am I pronouncing his name right? Sometimes I get mixed up pronouncing their names correctly. Yeah, they did a very nice job with this Gaara. His head might look a little too big. It doesn't bother me that much. I think it looks alright. The detail really did turn out very well on this figure. The shading looks great in the hair. The sculpt of the hair looks great. The faces look pretty good. His gourd looks sick. I think they did a fantastic job with his gourd. And one of my favorite parts about the figure with the detail is his robe with the gray vest or half vest on there. I think they did a very nice job with that. And another thing I love about his robe is the lower portion of it. This is such a softer rubbery type plastic, so it really does not hinder any of his leg articulation, which I was very happy about, because some of the figures Tamashii Nations makes, it's not as soft. Like, some of the plastic isn't as soft as the lower portion of Gaara's robe, so it does hinder a lot of other figures' articulation. So hopefully in the future they keep using this type of plastic for like pieces like this for other characters. The articulation, I think he has some of the best articulation as well out of all the figures that we have in the line so far. They did a very nice job working in the movement with this Gaara. And then he does come with some of the best accessories. We do have the, what's the name of the one-tailed beast? I forgot his name, but we get the hand of that Gaara makes out of the sand. So that's cool, the gourd. We do get the crossed arms. That's always a plus when you include that with a figure. Interchangeable faces and hands as well. And I do wish they gave us a couple more interchangeable hands. You know, we didn't get too many with Gaara here, but this is definitely one of the best figures, I think, in the line so far. And that's why he is number 2 on my list. So now moving on to the number 1 figure, and most of you could probably tell who it is, and this is probably a lot of people's favorite figure as well, and it is Kakashi. And this really is one of the best figures. I personally think this is the best figure in the line so far. I don't think they made a figure that was better. Madara might end up being the best figure in the line though, because that figure just looks phenomenal. But as of right now, this Kakashi I think still is the best in the line. He has the best articulation out of all the figures. I mean, look at the pose I got him in right now, a crouching pose, and he balances perfectly fine in this pose right here. You can get him in this type of pose, kicking poses, all types of crazy poses you can get him into. So he definitely does have the best articulation out of all the figures that are around right now, especially around the torso and the waist. He has very nice movement there. The arms and his neck, the neck articulation, the lower and upper neck, you get very nice movement with it. It doesn't get hindered like how Rock Lee's does. And one thing that does bug me, let's move on to the detail, but one thing that bugs me is how they made Kakashi's vest. I really hate how they did this lower piece here, because we have his ninja pouch on the back, and it does get in the way a lot. And a lot of the time, this goes off center. So, whoops, I'm going off camera. I thought the light was the camera for some reason. It goes off center, the zipper, so it looks weird if you don't pay attention to it, because it's not centered with the rest of the zipper, you know? I think the hair turned out great. A lot of people do have an issue with it. I believe they wanted it to maybe be longer. I guess it's not completely accurate. It doesn't bother me that much. I think they did a pretty dope job with it. The part that covers his face looks great. I mean, it looks like they took Kakashi directly out of the anime, I think, with this figure here. They could have added some shading in it, like on the Uzumaki symbol. I believe that is what that is. And then on the vest as well, they could have added a wash or a shading. And then same with the wrappings around his ankles, and then the wrappings around his thigh. They could have added a black wash or some line work where the sculpted lines are on it. Yeah, the detail I think turned out excellent on this Kakashi. And another thing that I feel like he has the best of is accessories. He is loaded with a bunch of awesome accessories. I feel like he comes... Out of all the figures we have in the line so far, he comes with the most accessories, I believe, and probably some of the best. I know Gaara does come with some of the best accessories as well, but he really is loaded with a lot of stuff. You have his book, a ton of interchangeable hands, a couple kunais, an interchangeable head, a bunch of interchangeable faces. We do have the Chidori, which really doesn't look like a Chidori, just looks like a spiky ball, a spiky translucent ball. That is something a lot of people had an issue with, which I don't blame them, because the Chidori, when he does the Chidori, it looks nothing like that. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. Maybe they were thinking it was a Kamehameha or something like that. But yeah, he is included with a bunch of great accessories. So I feel like, in my own personal opinion, I feel like he is the best figure as of right now in the line. Until Madara or Jiraiya releases, they might knock him out of first place and take the #1 spot. So we'll have to see when those two figures release. I'm itching to get Madara. He's going to be releasing any day now. But that is my top 5 favorite SH Figuarts Naruto figures. And what I want you to do is let me know in the comments below what your top 5 favorite SH Figuarts Naruto figures are as well. And hopefully this line continues to grow as it has been. It seems like next year we're going to be getting more figures released within the year. I think we only got like 3 figures this year, or maybe 4. I don't know how many we got. I think only 3. And next year we already have 3 figures releasing up to April. So January, Jiraiya, March, Barto, and then April we're getting that Sage Mode Naruto, which I feel like is kind of a cheap way for Tamashii Nations just to throw out another SH Figuarts Naruto figure, because all we're getting is the same exact Sage Mode Naruto figure that we got. I believe we're getting all the same faces and all the same accessories and stuff. The only thing added in is the scroll, his cloak, and the crossed arms. It does look badass though. I am going to be getting it regardless, but I feel like it was a cheap way for them just to throw out another character to us, and I really want them to continue giving us new characters. There are so many characters in the Naruto universe, and we need to build up this collection. I don't want to keep getting the same damn character over and over, like what they do with the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball line, because we have like 20 Gokus and Vegetas, and a bunch of different Trunks figures, a bunch of different Gohans, so I know they're really milking it with the DBZ, and it seems like they're going to be doing the same thing with Naruto as well. We're going to have 3 Naruto figures by next year, and we already have 2 Sasuke's, so I really hope they chill with either updating figures or giving us different versions of the same character. I really want them to continue giving us different characters, because we need a Neji, we need a Shikamaru, we need a Orochimaru, Tsunade, a Tenten would be dope. I really want them to make a Hinata. Zabuza would be great. Kimimaro, I would love for them to make Kimimaro, is it M or N? I would even love for them to make a Soigetsu. And who's the other guy, the big guy with the orange hair that was with Sasuke's crew? What the hell is his name? I can't remember. I mean, there's countless characters they can make. So hopefully Tamashii Nations continues after this same damn Naruto figure that we're going to be getting again with the cloak and scroll and stuff. I hope they continue with giving us newer characters in line, because like I said, we have less than 10 figures in this line, and we really need to build up this SH Figuarts Naruto collection. But anyway, guys, that is my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that bell icon. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, just give it a thumbs up anyway, because action figures are awesome. But thanks for watching. I will see you later.